Beneath the surface of Tongil High, student Kim Seol is a key player in a deadly succession game for North Korea's leadership. Elite NIS agent Soo-hyun is undercover to protect her, navigating a world of assassins and rival operatives. His mission to keep her safe is complicated by a new, awkward directive: make some friends. A new day dawns at Tongil High School, and students are pushed through grueling PE drills. Their coach shows no mercy even in the summer heat. Amidst the chaos, we meet Kim Seol, a second-year student. She slips away from class seeking a moment to cool down. Inside an empty classroom, a boy is slumped over a desk. He jolts awake startled, calling out her name. He quickly insists this isn't what it seems. Then he tries to reassure her about her desk's safety. But his words only enrage the girl further. Her eyes glow as she accuses him of stalking her. Then she accuses him of going through her things. With a sinister smile, she declares the boy caught. However, a classmate suddenly interrupts the scene. It's Lee Hyun-ae, another student who heard the noise. She rushes to her friend asking if everything is okay. Seol simply says she caught something pointing. But when Hyun-ae looks, the boy is gone. He vanished into thin air, leaving both girls stunned. Yet he's actually hiding just outside the window, hanging precariously high above the ground. Later that night, the scene shifts dramatically. The boy Soo-hyun reports to a mysterious woman. She is Sung Charin, an NIS team leader. She mentions the target Soo-hyun has just secured. A captured target is found bound and gagged. The operative was discovered stuffed inside a school locker. Karen reveals he was a low-level operative. He had been caught planting a bomb in Seol's desk. Soo-hyun realizes this was merely a preliminary test. They were probing the NIS's security around their primary target. For Kim Seol is a candidate for North Korea's next leader. She stands at the center of a deadly succession game. Karen notes the enemy's brutality in targeting a child. She then turns to Soo-hyun, her youngest agent. Seol's life is now his sole responsibility. Soo-hyun, the NIS's top operative, accepts the mission. Karen asks if he's made any friends at school. His awkward silence provides a clear answer. She can't believe he hasn't made a single one. Soo-hyun insists his social life won't affect the mission. But Karen tells him that's not the point. She gives him a new order: make some friends. The next day, the agent returns to school. Soo-hyun lurks behind a cabinet, obsessed with his new goal. Seol glares, sensing his presence once again. She points him out to Hyun-ae, calling the boy a total creep. Even Hyun-ae agrees he seems a little intense. Nearby, other students are gossiping about him. Seol overhears them, annoyed by the constant chatter. Seol confronts the gossips, a chilling smile playing on her lips. They stammer denials, but the girl sees right through them. Together, she and Hyun-ae mock their sudden cowardice. Meanwhile, Soo-hyun remains fixated on his new mission: making friends. He awkwardly asks a lone student if he needs a friend. The student, startled, tumbles to the ground. Suddenly, another student appears, ready to fix the situation. He performs a surprisingly agile combat role. Striking a pose, he claims he had to drop his cover. He heard Soo-hyun was looking for a friend. Then he asks an odd question, like the military. Soo-hyun finds himself utterly confused by the query. He recalls Karen's advice: find common interests. The key, she said, was to show interest in what others like, so he agrees, sealing the deal with a shared interest. Soo-hyun realizes making friends can be surprisingly simple. His new friend Park Min-duk is a military enthusiast. Across the room, Seol observes their interaction. A blonde student then approaches, calling her name. He requests to speak with her privately. He asks if she's free after school. She agrees to talk, but only outside the school. He smiles, clearly pleased with her answer. The two of them later meet on the school rooftop. He calls the dirty rooftop a lame place for a confession. Seol confronts the boy directly, an unexpected confession. He boasts of his future fame, then brazenly asks her out. Her only response, a silent, unimpressed gesture. The rival is completely taken aback by her dismissal. His ego bruised, his anger flares instantly. She confirms her rejection and turns to leave, but the boy grabs her. Enraged, the rival throws a vicious kick at her, but a flash of red whips in front of her, and Soo-hyun appears, blocking the attack. The blonde student reels back from the impact. Wiping away blood, he demands to know who interfered. Soo-hyun's killing intent manifests as a spectral tiger. The bully screams, terrified by the vision. He accuses them both of utter insanity. He flees with a final threat, which Seol calmly ignores. Then Seol turns on Soo-hyun, calling him a pervert. She demands to know his strange motivations. He recalls the key to friendship: showing interest, so he tells her he likes her. As a friend, Seol is thrown into a state of total shock. He repeats the confession and she snaps back, but Soo-hyun calmly states they won't be dating. She agrees vehemently, then stops, utterly confused. Her anger deflates into quiet uncertainty. He vows to protect her. That's what friends do. Soo-hyun compiles his afternoon surveillance report. He notes a distinct change in the target's behavior. The girl shows clear signs of growing anxiety. Lost in thought, she ignores her classmates entirely. Her focus appears absolute, almost obsessive. Though no infection is visible, something is clearly wrong. Suddenly, the target Seol spots him and attacks. She immediately calls him out for his terrible spying. Her anger, it seems, is boiling over once again. A nearby student watches their heated exchange curiously. He calmly jots down her observed violence level. Just then, a classmate suddenly appears, startling Soo-hyun. His friend asks why he's always hiding like this. He then shows Sehyeon something intriguing on a tablet. It's a lengthy, passionate rant about military hardware. Sehyeon, however, completely zones out from the lecture. The friend apologizes for rambling on so much. Then he asks what Sehyeon was watching so intently. He immediately recognizes the popular girl Kim Seol. He grabs Sehyeon, playfully asking if he has a crush. The friend warns him about her famously bad temper, but Sehyeon insists it doesn't matter, he likes her. His friend is stunned by this pure, unexpected confession. Apologizing, he vows to support Sehyeon fully. He even suggests giving her a gift of affection. A friend explains that girls often appreciate accessories. Sehyeon then asks what kind of gift to get. The military enthusiast, however, has a perfect idea. He suggests a tactical pistol holster. Sehyeon predictably is completely unimpressed, yet the friend just so happens to have one. The enthusiastic friend then begs to try it on. A furious Seol nearby tells them to be quiet. The friend struggles to squeeze into the gear. His shirt buttons strain under the pressure. Proudly, he declares it a perfect fit. Sehyeon and Seol can only stare in horror. As he flexes, a button suddenly pops off. The tiny projectile flies across the room. It ricochets directly off Seol's forehead. The embarrassed friend covers himself in shame. Quickly, he returns the holster to Sehyeon. Sehyeon turns and offers it to Kim Seol. Her eyes, however, glow red with pure fury. With a scream, she launches him from the building. Sehyeon walks alone, utterly defeated. Bruised, he still tries to stay optimistic. He recalls the old adage, friends who fight are close. Suddenly, a red-haired student approaches him. He and his gang call Sehyeon out by name. Sehyeon calmly faces an approaching gang. Their leader claims a friend has business with him. It's the blonde bully from before seeking revenge. Sehyeon asks what business they have. The gang mocks him for playing dumb. The blonde leader reminds him of their last encounter. Sehyeon explains he was only defending Kim Seol. His lack of respect only fuels their anger. They drag him off to teach him a lesson, but from around the corner, Kim Seol watches. A memory flashes, a powerful kick at a soccer ball. Sehyeon, as goalie, makes a diving save. She stands silently observing the situation. He once shielded her from a thrown drink. He promised he would always protect her. Her friend calls out, snapping her from her thoughts. Seol brushes it off, saying it's nothing. Sehyeon arrives at a safe house, kicking a doorstop. His team leader greets him, mission complete. She asks if he has anything unusual to report. She's confident the enemy won't make a move yet. With a flick of her mind, she crushes a can. A flash of immense power emanates from her. Sehyeon catches the crushed can effortlessly. He looks back at his team leader, concerned. Sehyeon offers to clean the messy safe house. His team leader playfully tells the lead to relax, but the fighter insists, pulling on gloves with fiery resolve. In a flash, the entire apartment is spotless. Proudly, Sehyeon declares it looks brand new again. His team leader watches him, a question forming in her mind. She asks if he's finding school life difficult. The lead admits it's his first time experiencing normal life. He pauses, admitting there's something more to it. These new feelings are completely fascinating to him. Hearing this, the team leader smiles with genuine relief. Elsewhere, the bullies regroup after their recent failure, but someone is approaching them from the shadows. A red-haired observer questions Sehyeon's very existence. The gang complains they couldn't even touch him. They wonder why he only dodged their attacks. A flashback reveals his fluid, untouchable movements. They agree to back off, sensing the fighter is dangerous, but their blonde leader storms in furious. His crew reminds him their target is impossible to hit. The shadowy observer finally makes his move. He demands to know everything about Kim Seol. His eyes glow red, revealing his obsession with her. Back at school, Seol's friend shares a troubling rumor. A brutal fight broke out between rival schools nearby. Seol's friend offers a quiet warning, be careful today. Meanwhile, a classmate excitedly engages Sehyeon in conversation, but Seol's friend notices her complete distraction. The girl brushes it off, claiming nothing is wrong. Then Sehyeon's eyes suddenly widen in alarm. He's standing right behind Seol, who spins to face him. She jokingly asks if he has a death wish. Her friend watches the fighter playfully scold him. A loud voice cuts through the noise, demanding they stop. It's a disciplinary committee member striking poses for photos. He scolds them for being loud all while maintaining his pose. The surrounding students simply cheer him on. Sehyeon and Seol watch the bizarre scene, completely baffled. A red armband marks him as student council. Seol sighs, finally letting go of Sehyeon's collar. Elsewhere, other girls gossip about Seol behind her back. They mock her, claiming her popularity means nothing. The committee member smirks, calling the girl useful. Seol turns back to Sehyeon, her gaze now serious. He cautiously asks if something is wrong. Her eyes flash as she sharply tells him to shut up. He immediately agrees and the girl walks away. Sehyeon watches the committee member, one problem seemingly solved. Later, his classmate finds him lost in thought. He asks what Sehyeon is thinking about so intently. Sehyeon asks his friend about the man who scolded Seol. His friend reveals he's the powerful committee president, yet he admits he doesn't know the full story. Sehyeon looks over, his interest clearly piqued. A female classmate then offers to tell them everything. Sehyeon's friend leans in, eager for the full account. But she grows flustered under their intense, expectant gaze. Instead, she asks to speak with Sehyeon privately. The friend departs, wishing Sehyeon good luck. The girl then apologizes, leaving Sehyeon completely lost. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Seol's friend inquires about the president. Seol calmly grabs a drink, stating there's always a reason. Her friend wonders if the incident involves Sehyeon. The friend insists they must uncover the truth. Seol, however, calmly asks what they would do then. After all, this isn't the first time such an event has occurred. She decides to take a walk before heading home. She needs some time alone to process her thoughts. Her friend watches her depart feeling deeply conflicted. Seol walks down the empty hallway utterly alone. Seol's friend meanwhile mumbles to himself about not being chosen. Suddenly he collides with Seol spilling her drink. He quickly apologizes but the girl glares clearly annoyed. He panics, instantly realizing it's Kim Seol. Seol then smirks stating she needs to ask him something. The classmate flustered is amazed she's talking to him. She wishes she had approached him sooner. Seol cuts her off asking what she truly wants. She admits to liking his cold, distant charm. Yet she points out he only has eyes for Seol. She's been watching him since he transferred. She saw everything he did for Seol and she was surprised by his dedication. She lists how badly Seol treated him in return as Seol listens nearby. She suggests he should try getting close to her instead. Seol immediately refuses, shocking Seol. He doesn't do things for Seol expecting a reward. He does them simply because he likes her, but she argues his actions only trouble Seol. Seol awkwardly calls it trial and error. Overhearing everything, Seol tries to hide a blush. A small happy smile forms on her lips. The classmate gives up, deciding to cheer him on. Later, Seol walks home through the city alone. A girl calls his name, identifying herself as Lee Hyun-ae. He questions her route, but she wanted to talk. Suddenly, his senses scream with alarm. A thin glowing red wire is stretched taut. Lee Hyun-ae's eyes glow red, a sinister smile on her face. Seol turns back, his expression grim and wary. Seol calmly refuses, citing dinner time. She laughs, amused by his casual excuse. Yet he isn't joking, he senses her killing intent. His eyes flash red, confirming the imminent danger. A wire whips past his head, but he twists his body, narrowly avoiding it. The lead knows he must keep his distance. In a flash, he's behind her, demanding answers. The fighter demands to know why she tried to kill him. Straightening his tie, he waits for her response. The lead warns her there will be consequences. She scoffs at his composure after the lucky dodge. The rival Lee Hyun-ae lunges again, ready to strike, but the lead easily sidesteps and restrains her. He pins her down, repeating his demand for answers. His patience wears thin. It's almost dinner time. Her eyes burn with pure rage. The girl screams, refusing to be dismissed. Another wire wraps tightly around his ankle. The fighter senses this next move is lethal. Suddenly, a red line appears across his neck. A gunshot rings out from the shadows. Then a girl with glasses appears, a smoking gun in hand. The newcomer cheerfully suggests they stop fighting. Lee Hyun-ae furiously rejects the idea of friendship. The girl with glasses is momentarily flustered. She quickly calls for a timeout. The scene shifts to a briefing room. There, the team leader urges Hyun-ae to see the bigger picture. Their target, Kim Seol, a candidate for North Korea's leader. She's in grave danger, forcing an unlikely alliance. Hyun-ae, the bodyguard, questions her new orders. The leader insists her grandfather approved the mission. Protecting Kim Seol is the absolute top priority. Lee Hyun-ae silently processes this new reality. The leader tells her to accept it as an order. Seol is also part of this efficient, broader plan. The three are now an official team. Reluctantly, Lee Hyun-ae accepts the situation. But the team leader has one more question. She asks about the mysterious elder Hyun-ae lives with. Hyun-ae is vague, but the elder is well known. He's a legendary protector of high-value targets. The leader marvels at his dedication to a non-relative. Hyun-ae's sharp gaze questions that sentiment. Seol quietly warns her to respect the leader. The leader quickly apologizes for her phrasing. She refocuses them on combining their strength. She offers Hyun-ae all the credit for their success. With the deal on the table, Hyun-ae agrees. The leader grins, an expert at handling difficult personalities. With the deal sealed, she instructs them to cooperate. Hyun-ae and Seol offer a strained agreement. The strategist promises vital intel, then departs. The door closes, leaving an uneasy silence. An elder immediately questions the leader's character. Surprisingly, Hyun-ae defends her as still learning. Elsewhere, the woman gives Seol a secret order. Seol must now keep a close watch on Hyun-ae. Meanwhile, Kim Seol walks alone at night. She frantically texts Hyun-ae, receiving no reply. Her worry grows with every unanswered message. She fears the worst. Hyun-ae has been kidnapped. Desperate, she searches her contacts for help, but she finds no one she can call. In a moment of panic, she turns to a chatbot. She asks for advice about her missing friend. The chatbot promises a solution is on its way, but it's merely an ad for a premium subscription. Furious at the chatbot, she storms off. From the shadows, a red-haired man appears. He has finally found his target, Kim Seol, but she's completely distracted by her phone. The chatbot has started cursing back at her. As she fumes, a bystander screams a warning. A scooter zips past its rider, shouting an apology. A red-haired man catches the girl, asking if she's all right. Their moment is interrupted by a bystander, baseball in hand. The ball hurtles through the air with blinding speed, yet the stranger catches it effortlessly, a casual smile on his face. Suddenly, another scream. A truck bears down on them. He yanks the girl to safety as the truck screeches past. The red-haired man notes that trouble seems to follow her. He wonders if she's the one who attracts such danger. Kim Seol, however, simply dismisses him as a handsome idiot, but he warns her that more danger is coming soon, all while hiding a gleaming knife behind his back. Their exchange is interrupted by an old man calling out to Seol. It's Hyun-ae's grandfather, much to the girl's surprise. He explains he's merely out enjoying the view, specifically the young women exercising nearby. He then tells Seol it's late and she should head home. The girl asks about Hyun-ae, but the elder says she's busy. Seol thanks them both, then runs off into the night. The two men watch her leave, their demeanor suddenly changing. The elder's eyes glow red, demanding to know why the fighter saved her. The red-haired man smirks, his own eyes now glowing red. He has his own mission separate from the elder's agenda. The elder's patience quickly runs out, his power flaring. He then lunges forward in a blur of motion. Yet the elder stands behind him, a blade at his throat. He playfully asks the young man why he seems so surprised. The red-haired man, stunned, can't believe he's lost his movement. Meanwhile, inside a quiet traditional home, Hyane's grandfather recounts a recent close call involving Seol. An assassin had nearly reached him the moment his guard dropped. Hyane is horrified, realizing the near failure of her mission. Her grandfather, a seasoned operative, insists she needs assistance. He urges her to accept aid from other capable agents, but she defiantly refuses, claiming superiority over them all. He responds with a crude joke about her stubbornness. She furiously tells him to mind his gaze. Flustered, the girl turns, vowing to prove her strength. She declares she will protect Seol entirely on her own. The grandfather sighs, gazing at a family photo, wondering who she truly takes after. The next day at school, Hyane appears overly apologetic. She clings to Seol, promising to be a much better friend. Her sudden closeness leaves their classmates visibly flustered. One boy, however, is completely captivated by the display. Their moment, however, is abruptly interrupted by a familiar bully. He demands to speak with Seol, but Hyane immediately steps in. She presses a gun to his head, her eyes utterly cold. She instructs him to nod if he comprehends the threat. The terrified bully flees while she offers Seol a sweet smile. Just then a teacher arrives, inquiring about the commotion. A teacher screams as Hyane issues a chilling warning. Her classmates are terrified by her attack on the class president. The girl challenges them with a dark, menacing aura. One boy is impressed. Seol, however, sees a reliable bodyguard. But Seol confronts her, questioning this sudden change. Hyane stammers, struggling to find a good excuse. Seol observes she's acting just like Young Sehyun. This comparison completely shatters the girl's composure. Meanwhile, Young Sehyun gives her a quiet thumbs up for the effort. Hyane is absolutely mortified by his approval. She collapses, horrified to be compared to that guy. Outside the school, the red-haired agent from before arrives. His name is An Taemin, and he's clearly ready for fun. An elite operative, he hails from North Korea's security department, a proud warrior forged in brutal, bloody training. Soon he's introduced to the class as a new transfer student. His true mission: assassinate Princess Kim Seol. Seol immediately recognizes him from yesterday's close call. The operative vows she will die by his hand for the revolution. An Taemin then walks directly up to her desk, but Hyane quickly moves to block his path. Seol glares, disgusted by the rival's cocky demeanor. The agent decides to bide his time and observe first. His observation is suddenly cut short by a soccer ball to the face. The school's sports festival soccer preliminaries have begun. Young Sehyun unleashes a powerful kick across the field. The ball soars past the goalie, scoring a point. The fighter poses for the crowd, hoping Seol is watching, yet he scans the sidelines, unable to find her. Meanwhile, Seol remains completely uninterested in the match. Hyun-A tries to cheer her up, discussing their class shirts. The girl also dislikes wearing the Korea Army logo. Her focus, however, shifts back to the North Korean agent. She recalls his state security department credentials. She vows he won't touch a hair on Seol's head. An Taemin sweats, observing the girls' uniforms. He's horrified, convinced they are all puppet soldiers. He was never briefed on such opposition. His paranoia transforms them into a deadly squad. He wonders if the princess is also a trained killer. This mission is proving far more difficult than expected. Suddenly, a stray soccer ball flies directly at his head. The impact sends him crashing to the ground. He's convinced everyone at the school is his enemy. A student stands over him, offering a hand. An Taemin is shocked by this unexpected kindness. Nearby, a group of girls gossip about the boys. They debate who is more handsome, the new student or Sehyun. A girl with purple hair is then asked for her opinion. Yang Saewa smirks, declaring she'll take them both. A furious teacher suddenly appears, screaming at them. This is Kang Cheol, their intense PE and homeroom teacher. He threatens to lock the losing team in the gym. The threat triggers a brutal memory for An Taemin. Other students complain about his harsh methods. An Taemin trembles, the memory overwhelming him. He sprints onto the field, refusing to be punished. Intercepting the ball with surprising speed, he unleashes a powerful kick toward the goal. The ball smashes into the net, tying the score. His new classmates immediately celebrate with him. The lead is overwhelmed by this new feeling of camaraderie. Yang Saewa watches, impressed by his soccer skills. The teacher then raises the stakes, a date with Seol. Seol is furious, but the teacher dismisses her anger. Hyun-A sees a chance to get closer to Seol. Sehyun overhears and senses trouble brewing. An Taemin receives an order through his earpiece to score. The agent sees the date as a perfect kill opportunity. Both boys now race for the ball, determined to win. Another player has the ball, unaware of the stakes. He scoffs at their spirit and takes his shot. The goalie braces himself, muttering about spirit, yet he makes an incredible diving save. He quickly throws the ball back into play. The goalie launches the ball downfield. Sehyun and An Taemin race for the final play. On the sidelines, the girls gasp at the sight. Both players kick the ball simultaneously, sending it spinning just outside the goal. The game ends in a draw, to everyone's dismay. An Taemin and Sehyun shake hands, showing respect. Their agent reminds them a penalty shootout awaits. But Sehyeon's team is completely wiped out 0-3. Yang Saewa watches the outcome with a sly smile. The rival goalie boasts about his save, ignoring the loss. All focus turns to the defeated Jung Sehyeon. Meanwhile, Seol faces pressure from her classmates. Two girls beg her to wear a special class shirt. She flatly refuses, finding their persistence annoying. They imagine her in various outfits, further angering her. Seol shoves the shirt at Hyun-A, telling her to wear it. The girls object, claiming Hyun-A's size is wrong. They insist Seol's body is the perfect fit. Enraged, the lead girl finally chases them all away. The others regroup, plotting another way to get close. One of them gets an idea, looking across the room. Her eyes land on the handsome killer On Tae-min. They whisper about how good-looking the new student is. On Tae-min feels their stares, fearing his cover is blown. On Tae-min is suddenly cornered by one of the girls. They quickly swarm him, showering him with compliments. The group then asks for a small favor: to wear an item. Their smiles, however, turn sinister, hinting at a devious plan. They promptly present him with the item. It's a maid outfit, much to the lead's horror. His classmates meanwhile revel in the ridiculous sight. He begs them to stop, desperately trying to get away. The fighter sees this as a mental attack, stealing his resolve. Suddenly, a familiar voice cuts through the chaos. Jung Sehyeon observes his troubled state. On Tae-min thinks he's been saved, but Sehyeon quickly denies it. It turns out Sehyeon was also forced into a mascot costume. Just then, another student suddenly objects to the scene. The student shouts that their fashion choices are unreasonable, but the girls quickly silence him, pushing him aside. Sehyeon then advises On Tae-min to just give up. He even adds that the outfit looks good on him. Watching nearby, Seol vows to expose On Tae-min's secret. Later, Jung Sehyeon escapes to the men's restroom. He recalls the chaos of the girls swarming Tae-min. In the hallway, a girl with purple hair greets him. He immediately recognizes the sly smile of Yang Saewa. She's delighted that he hasn't forgotten her. He asks what she wants, but she just plays it cool. Yang Saewa suggests they should get to know each other. The lead agrees, instantly following his simple friend formula. She smirks, assuming he's just another typical guy. She then invites him out, but Sehyeon immediately refuses. Her smile falters, confused by the unexpected rejection. He bluntly states he cannot be away from Kim Seol. His declaration leaves Yang Saewa completely stunned. Suddenly, Kim Seol appears, smacking him hard. She drags him away, scolding him for his words. Yang Saewa is left speechless by the bizarre scene. Her annoyance quickly turns to resolve. She wants to steal him. Later, students begin to leave the school grounds. Kim Seol accuses him of stalking, but he calls it coincidence. She's still fuming over his earlier declaration to Saewa. The girl questions why he endures her constant abuse. Sehyeon calmly agrees she has a terrible personality. Her anger flares, but he cuts her off unconcerned. He vows to always stay by her side, unchanging. Flustered, she calls his words incredibly annoying. She announces she's going to see a movie. The girl details her plans, but he simply wishes her well. The scene then shifts to a bustling city street. A new student with striking red hair crosses the street. The red-haired student suddenly stops, sensing a gaze. A passing girl is captivated by his good looks. A braided figure laments the tedious task of tailing her target. Her mission: locate the red-haired student's hidden sanctuary. Suddenly, the target halts, commanding her to reveal herself. He had known all along that he was being pursued. Impressed, the tracker realizes she gravely underestimated him. She emerges from the shadows, choosing a direct confrontation. Yet her chosen weapon, a simple measuring tape, sends him into a panic. His terrified reaction makes the girl question his true identity. A sudden flashback reveals a girl obsessed with a ruler. She had sadistically attempted to measure his very muscles. This traumatic memory sends the lead character fleeing for his life. The girl scoffs, confident he cannot possibly escape her grasp. A terrifying aura surrounds her as she gives relentless chase. The scene shifts abruptly to a bustling movie theater lobby. A prominent poster advertises the popular film Monsters Blade. On screen, a defeated orc warrior pleads desperately for mercy. In the audience, Kim Seol watches the epic unfold alone. A stray piece of popcorn suddenly strikes her head. She turns, only to find Sehyeon seated directly behind her. Angrily, she demands to know his presence's purpose. He dismisses it as a mere coincidence, much to her growing annoyance. The girl recalls telling him her precise plans just hours before. The man beside her, a stranger, shushes her sharply. Mortified, she slowly sinks lower into her seat. After the movie, she finds herself alone in a quiet coffee shop. Kim Seol stews in frustration, lost in thought. Nearby, other students admire her from a distance. Yet a loud, obnoxious slurp shatters the peace. She glares, realizing Sehyeon is right there. She confronts him, demanding to know why he's here. The rival plays dumb, calling it another coincidence. Fed up, the girl storms out of the cafe. Outside, her sharp eyes catch a sudden commotion. A red-haired student runs, pursued by another girl. Without hesitation, Kim Seol intercepts him with a brutal tackle. The force of the impact sends them both to the ground. Sehyeon rushes to the side of the fallen student. Later, the group sits down to talk. The girl Hyun-A then explains the misunderstanding. The transfer student nervously backs her up. Kim Seol, however, senses his fear is out of place. The boy seems frustrated he can't make his move. Yet Hyun-A's sweet demeanor suddenly shifts. Sehyeon watches the tense exchange, clearly confused. The girl quietly tells the boy to keep up his act. Kim Seol interrupts them, having an idea. The others turn, wondering what she's planning. Later, she's at an arcade venting on a punching machine. The fighter offers Hyun-A a turn to relieve stress. Hyun-A politely declines, maintaining her careful facade. Hyun, a smile certain, Seol remains completely clueless. The transfer student decides to simply gather intel. It's too public to confront Hyun-ae in this setting. He wonders about Soo-hyun's relationship with Hyun-ae. He'd prefer to handle this without Soo-hyun nearby. Soo-hyun is a rare good person in this puppet state. Kim Seol snaps telling them to stop posing and play. Hyun-ae notices Kim Seol's unusual excitement. The transfer student eagerly steps up to the machine, landing a massive score of 960. Kim Seol is visibly annoyed by his bragging. Suddenly, Hyun-ae's eyes glow red as she strikes. Score flashes on screen, 955. She mutters she could do better, terrifying the lead. Kim Seol turns to Soo-hyun, urging him to play. He considers her words, then simply walks away. A girl in the crowd wonders why he's leaving, but Soo-hyun returns holding a massive sledgehammer. The group panics, yelling at his literal interpretation. She tries to pull him back, but he won't listen. Elsewhere, a fighting game match ends in a KO. The group now watches Kim Seol dominate a game. A flashback reveals her long history with arcades. Back in the present, they wait for someone to arrive. Nearby, a frustrated player loses his cool. The defeated player stares stunned at his opponent. Kim Seol taunts him for his embarrassing loss. A friend warns her, but the girl merely laughs it off. For her, there's nothing like crushing opponents with combos. The transfer student, meanwhile, imagines her as a terrifying dictator. Then with a smirk, she challenges him next. Loser buys dinner. The girls mock him, calling him delicate and weak. Goaded into it, the lead reluctantly accepts the match. He vows to unleash his elite combat training. 5 minutes later, he's been utterly destroyed. Kim Seol, undeterred, raises the stakes for the next round. Nearby, Soo-hyun watches, surprised by her playful side. Later, the group sits down for a huge meal. The transfer student pays, having lost 5 times. Soo-hyun offers to split the bill with him. The lead in turn sees her as a savior, but Hyun-ae sees only weakness in Soo-hyun's kindness. She resolves to prove her own competence. The meal descends into chaos over fried food. Afterwards, the girls suggest taking photo booth pictures. Our lead assesses the cramped, vulnerable space. Kim Seol looks over at the others. She tells everyone to stop looking so serious. She starts a game of rock, paper, scissors. The lead makes a strange move and loses. The newcomer finds himself swarmed by new friends. They all pile into a photo booth for a picture. Kim Seol, grinning, directs their poses. The camera flashes, capturing their chaotic energy. Afterward, they try on silly props. Soo-hyun joins in donning a ridiculous disguise. Even the lead finds a look he likes. The group then strikes an absurd special forces pose. Kim Seol tells him to look more miserable for the shot. Soo-hyun is told to smile, though he's already trying his best. The day ends as the group walks home. They look over the photos from their chaotic session. The transfer student feels a strange sense of fulfillment. He thinks life here is fun until a hand suddenly grabs him. A comrade reminds him of their true objective. Up ahead, the girls suggest going to the park, but the lead says he's heading back. He has a mission to complete tonight. Hyun-ae also makes an excuse to leave. Kim Seol wonders if Hyun-ae likes the new kid. Soo-hyun assures her it's impossible, though he won't say why. He quickly changes the subject back to the park. He offers to go with her, just the two of them. They arrive at the quiet lamplit park. Soo-hyun asks if she enjoyed her day. Kim Seol surprisingly admits she had fun today, but quickly clarifies it was the group, not just him. Her flustered denial, however, betrays a blush. Soo-hyun then confesses his genuine worry for her. He knows the girl usually keeps to herself, yet today he witnessed a completely new side. Her genuine smile was truly a welcome sight. He hopes to see that smile more often. The girl in turn calls him creepy for watching so closely. He simply wants her to stay safe and happy. Flustered, she tells him to stop acting so cool. Still, she can't hide her deepening blush. Playfully, she calls him annoying, yet a smile breaks through. Later, Soo-hyun returns to his messy apartment. His comrade immediately teases him about his night out. She then suddenly jumps onto his back, misquoting a cheesy line he never said. She laughs. She laments her youth spent monitoring kids like him. Drunk, the comrade warns him not to become like her. He gently puts her to bed as she rambles about love. Elsewhere, Kim Seol finds herself unable to sleep. His words about her smile echo persistently in her mind. She remembers his simple wish for her happiness. Hiding under the covers, she is completely flustered. The next day dawns, bringing them back to school. A new student stands silently within the crowd, recalling his true mission to assassinate the princess. His target, Kim Seol, the princess herself. Their supposed friendship merely a lie. Suddenly, a stray volleyball smacks the lead in the face. He's instantly taken out of the game. The rival class mocks their pathetic start. It's Queen Dodgeball, and Class 4's Queen appears. Their Queen Warrior rallies her armored guards. Soon only Soo-hyun and Seol remain on their team. Their classmates cheer them on from the sidelines. Meanwhile, another classmate fumes, wanting to protect Seol herself. She decides the transfer student won't act now. Soo-hyun takes Seol's hand, pulling her behind him. He promises to be her shield. Flustered, the girl tells him to stop being so cool. A ball zips past his head, snapping them back to reality. An opponent grins, preparing a powerful combo shot. But the last male player, the fighter, is invincible. He takes the hits, refusing to hurt civilians. The princess tells him to just hit the queen then. The enemy unleashes a spinning whirlwind shot. The ball hurtles straight for his face, but Soo-hyun catches it with one hand. He'll end this now in a single shot. The enemy queen commands her guards to protect her. Soo-hyun's throw arcs high into the sky. The ball hangs directly over the enemy team. Her guards mock the throw, believing he's given up. But the single ball suddenly multiplies in midair. They rain down, taking out the queen and her guards. His classmates erupt in cheers for the brilliant tactic. Seol stares at the fighter, stunned by the sudden victory. The celebration is cut short by a dance break announcement. Dance club member Yang Sewa takes the stage. The crowd is instantly captivated by her performance. She dances with a confident, provocative energy. One classmate is a massive fan. Sahyun remains unimpressed. The dancer points directly into the crowd as she sings. Her gaze fixes on Sahyun, dismissing Seol's popularity. She declares her intention to win over Sahyun. A classmate mistakenly thinks she winked at him. Elsewhere, a red-haired student watches completely bewildered. He's confused by the strange uniforms and atmosphere. He wonders how to assassinate the princess amidst this chaos. He decides to simply wipe everyone out. As the elite agent plans his attack, Sahyun suddenly appears. Sahyun reminds the agent the relay race is about to start. The agent is shocked. He never sensed Sahyun's approach. Seol watches them, finding Sahyun's actions unexpected. Seol senses a change in Sahyun. The final relay runner receives a new mission. He must choose a partner for the date leg. Sahyun takes his place for the final leg, but instead of a baton he grasps a hand. The girl is stunned by his choice. It's Yang Sewa, utterly taken by surprise. He calmly reassures her it's okay, just her trust, he explains, and to run. Yang Sewa agrees, a smile gracing her face. A flashback reveals the events from 10 minutes prior. The red-haired agent blazes down the track. His classmates are shocked by the incredible speed. The lead runner scoffs, this is mere child's play. He reaches the first mission poised to dominate. The challenge: consume a cup of fire noodles. The competitor digs in, confident it will be easy, but the spice hits him like a ton of bricks. His classmates watch their lead quickly evaporate. The fighter tries to power through the intense pain, but this is worse than any training he's endured. Defeated, he passes the baton to the next runner. Their team falls to last after a clumsy spill. The runner apologizes to her teammate Hyun-ae. Hyun-ae spins into a literal human tornado. Hyun-ae instructs him, win this by any means necessary. The final mission: choose a date partner. Hyun-ae fully expects to be chosen as always, but Sahyun reaches for a different hand instead, taking Yang Sewa. The rival is left in utter disbelief. Sahyun calmly reassures his new partner he just needs her to trust him and run. Yang Sewa agrees with a confident smile. The lead then ties their ankles together for the race. The girl boasts about her skills despite hating exercise. They take off, moving in perfect unison. The other girls are stunned by his choice. Sahyun and Sewa cross the finish line in first. Their classmates erupt in cheers for the unexpected victory, but Hyun-ae watches from a distance, confused. Sewa clings to Sahyun, laughing triumphantly. Hyun-ae's expression darkens, feeling utterly mocked. The teacher announces a pizza party for everyone. The class celebrates the rare and welcome treat. Sewa approaches Sahyun after the race. She thanks him for the compliment and the win. She then asks a friend for a moment alone with Sahyun. With the friend gone, she asks when they're going. Her eyes gleam, reminding him of their date. The girl eagerly reminds him of their date. Then Sahyun suddenly grabs her wrist. He declares their date begins right then. Nearby, other girls begin to gossip about his boldness. Intrigued, Hyun-ae gets up to follow the pair. Sewa smirks, clearly enjoying Hyun-ae's reaction. The lead realizes she knows how to play games. Sahyun decides to play along with her charade. Later, he hands her a drink on a park bench. The girl questions if this truly counts as a date. He offers a hilariously literal definition in response. Sewa then teases him about his supposed crush on Hyun-ae, but Sahyun reveals he's been watching her closely. He claims to know her pattern of manipulation. She rejects admirers yet keeps them conveniently close, a classic tactic designed to keep them hooked. Then the rival tells her he has something to ask. He asks what she truly thinks of Kim Seol. Her playful demeanor instantly shatters at the name. She demands to know why he's bringing Hyun-ae up. He calmly states he's seen how she watches the other girl. In fact, he saw it just a moment ago. Enraged, Sewa crushes her can in her hand. She angrily denies any conscious awareness of her. The rival calmly confirms her aggression. He commands the girl to turn, treating her like a criminal. As his hands draw near, she blushes. Suddenly, a furious voice shouts from behind them. Kim Seol delivers a swift flying kick to the man's face. The scene flashes back to an earlier pivotal moment. Kim Seol overhears students exchanging casual insults. Moments later, she spots Sahyun walking with Sewa. The girl attempts to convince herself this is a good thing, yet the very thought of him only fuels her anger. She envisions him abandoning her for a new queen. Such intense jealousy drives her to the brink of madness. She pauses, questioning her own tumultuous feelings. Then her eyes suddenly lock onto a new sight. Sahyun and Sewa are openly flirting on a nearby bench. She scoffs, silently wishing they would simply disappear. However, a memory of her and Sahyun suddenly surfaces. She recalls they had in fact become friends. The girl resolves she must watch over this psycho. Back in the present, Sewa is stunned by the man's audacity. Just as Kim Seol charges in to deliver her attack, she screams pervert. As her foot connects squarely, Sewa is left shocked, wondering how long the fighter had been there. Kim Seol then furiously shakes the dazed Sahyun. Sewa, however, coldly dismisses the accusations. She challenges Kim Seol's very right to interfere. Sewa confronts the girl, accusing her of making Sahyun look foolish. Kim Seol counters, insisting she only saved him from a pervert. Sewa scoffs, dismissing the claim and branding her a gaslighter. The rival then claims Kim Seol is merely jealous of her. This taunt, referencing the sports festival, ignites Sewa's rage. Sahyun steps between them, attempting to de-escalate the situation. Both girls scream at him, demanding he stay out of their conflict. Surprisingly, they both agree he is the biggest problem here. Meanwhile, elsewhere, a student wonders about Kim Seol's whereabouts. Other students, meanwhile, are busy devouring free pizza. Later that night, the day's incident becomes the topic of discussion. A woman with glasses teases Soo-hyun about his failed attempt to find her, but the lead remains troubled, recalling the palpable tension between the girls. She then explains the complex, often scary world that exists between girls. He imagines their rivalry as a dramatic clash of elements. The woman tells him it's a concept he's still too young to fully grasp. She confirms Saewa is acutely conscious of Kim Seol. Kim Seol, after all, is famous for her looks and difficult personality. His presence, however, has only made her stand out more. This unique status naturally causes resentment among her peers, yet it could also inspire a quiet, secret admiration. Saewa, she suggests, likely approached him as the princess's man. This complex explanation leaves Soo-hyun utterly bewildered. She then tells him to apologize to Saewa tomorrow. He then remembers a team leader's terrifying disciplinary warning. The next morning, Soo-hyun arrives at school. He finds Saewa alone in the classroom. His reflection suddenly appears in her mirror. He asks for a moment of her time. She initially refuses, wary of their classmates. Soo-hyun insists, needing to apologize. His earnest request makes her reconsider. Outside, the girl nervously asks what he wants. He sincerely apologizes for the misunderstanding. She quickly clarifies she's not interested in him. He asks sadly if they're not friends anymore. Flustered, Saewa says they are, but with boundaries. She then asks if he likes Kim Seol. He confirms it without a moment's hesitation, but he quickly adds he won't compare them. He tells her she has her own unique charm. He even suggests she might be more attractive. With that, he ends the talk and heads to class. She's left stunned, replaying his compliments. She finds herself blushing, not hating it at all. Elsewhere, a new morning begins. An alarm clock rings at 6:30 a.m. A hand reaches out to silence the noise. Kim Seol groggily wakes up to the new day. She stretches, ready to start her morning routine. Sweat drips, a testament to his resolve. He powers through an intense morning workout. Every rep pushes his body to its limit. Soo-hyun begins his day with this brutal routine. Meanwhile, a woman enters, casually greeting her team leader. She expresses regret for not checking on Kim Seol earlier. Soo-hyun, however, is already on surveillance. His teammate panics as the camera angle gets too personal. Washing off the sweat, the lid finally relaxes. His teammate questions the strange commentary. Breakfast is served, declared part of the mission. A note reminds Seol to eat before school. Kim Seol, meanwhile, eats her breakfast alone. She pauses for a moment, then prepares to leave. Soon both Soo-hyun and the girl head out for school. On the way, Soo-hyun reports the area is clear. His classmates, however, gossip about his strange behavior. A friend greets him with their usual security check. Saewa carefully applies her lip gloss. Then she approaches his desk with a soft greeting. Her presence becomes an unexpected variable in his routine. She asks if he truly meant his words from yesterday. A classmate watches in utter disbelief. The girl reminds him of his flattering comparison. He deflects just as Kim Seol walks into the room. Saewa's aggression spikes with Seol's arrival. Yet another classmate suddenly calls her out. Soo-hyun intervenes, grabbing Saewa and laying down a clear rule. He warns the rival not to harm Kim Seol. Saewa blushes, secretly enjoying his forceful grip. Soon after, another girl attacks, putting Soo-hyun in a headlock. The morning chaos settles as classes finally begin. At lunchtime, Soo-hyun grabs a mountain of food. His friend decides to copy his combat eating style. The 2-minute meal challenge then begins. Soo-hyun finishes in record time, leaving his friend far behind. Meanwhile, Seol's friend marvels at the girl's impressive appetite. The long school day begins to wear on Kim Seol. Through the 5th period, Soo-hyun remains ever vigilant. During the break, his friend shows off a realistic model gun. The classroom descends into friendly, playful chaos. Cleaning time itself becomes an imaginary battlefield. Soo-hyun notes that no actual threats have yet appeared. Seol complains about the noise, oblivious to the ongoing mission. The teacher dismisses class and Soo-hyun receives an update. Kim Seol is being escorted home by another agent. With the target secure, his mission is seemingly complete. But Seol's friend meanwhile seethes with hidden rage. She notes a specific student's unexplained absence. She decides she must act, and quickly, before Soo-hyun does. A mysterious operative receives a stark warning about her high-priority status. Turning, the woman then asks comrade on Taemin if he's nervous. The flustered comrade, however, insists he's perfectly fine. Undeterred, the lead declares her ultimate goal, toppling North Korea's corrupt hierarchy.